What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. And the day has finally happened, the all new gameplay, basically 20 minutes of just greatness. Now, just when we thought we were seeing the same gameplay leaked, which we technically are, but a whole lot more, the graphics have changed dramatically. Now, before I continue into this video, I know most of you guys have already seen this gameplay. Of course, it's in the background and everyone is talking about this. Now, another little fun fact is we will be getting way more information coming out later today, so keep an eye out for that as well, because what new details will be revealed, no one actually knows, but now it seems like the marketing for this game has finally just reached that level that we all wanted it to be. Now, I found this on Reddit, which was more or less just a before E3 and after E3 comparison, which is basically in the space of like what, 3 or something months. Now, the difference that has already taken place is just mental and great to see, as of course when you see a difference like this, it just goes to show that they were listening to the entire community. So everyone that was complaining about the game, they really have taken this feedback seriously and just pumped it on to polishing this game. And going on a basis that it's 3 months or something like that since we last saw this gameplay to what it is now, I am super excited to see, you know, what there is going to be in the near future before the actual release date, because that's essentially just them polishing the game up. Now, a lot of people are talking instantly about, first of all, the brightness of the game, and of course Iron Man's helmet, etc. There's a ton of things that have just changed. You guys can go ahead and check that out for yourselves. Now, I want you to also get in the comments and let me know if there was anything specific that you guys noticed that you didn't really expect to see. I know some people, funny enough, have actually pointed out bugs for this gameplay already, and as you do, people make memes about it saying it's basically unplayable. But besides all that stuff, anything super interesting like mini Easter eggs that you guys have seen, let me know in the comment section below, because it's going to be really interesting to see. Now, of course, we see some Thor gameplay and it's safe to say this looks amazing. I've also seen a few people say that he seems a little overpowered, but I think this is just great for combat. Now, on Reddit, a user by the name Krish basically said, "I turned on the subtitles and saw this. See yourself from 5 minutes and 13 seconds in the new gameplay." Now, there was a lot of speculation, such as this probably means that Captain Marvel is a member of the Avengers already, but she's busy in space or something and left Goose behind. Now, of course, the subtitles is very interesting, it's quite hard to hear, but you just see Tony say, "Hi, how's the cat?" and then Maria says, "We'll keep you updated," and Goose is fine. So a lot of people are also saying, plus Camilla is actually wearing a Captain Marvel t-shirt. Playing as her would be crazy, and then when Captain America dies, at least it seems that way, maybe she will essentially be taking over his spot and then essentially becoming the captain. That's a very, very unlikely theory to actually happen, but it's great that the speculation is there. And of course, what is going to happen after Captain America dies, when he's going to die in the game, these are all questions that are still unanswered. Now, something that's really interesting to see, okay, and again, I saw this on Reddit, so I want to give everyone to credit that has essentially been pointing out these little things as well. It's another user that basically said, "What's your thoughts on the XP per enemy group instead of per knockdown?" Now, we know instantly that, you know, microtransactions, etc., in this game isn't really going to be a thing. You're not being, you know, going to be in a situation where you're paying to win, etc., and that more or less your combat in the game and things you do in the game, whether it would be helping with random side missions that, you know, occur, like we see also in the gameplay with Thor, where he then goes ahead and helps the police officers with essentially the hostiles. All of these little random events that you're going to be doing, which we already know, of course, will benefit you later in the game. Now, I'm guessing XP, etc., it's going to be a big deal. Now, the person on Reddit did say, and I quote, "I noticed during Captain America's gameplay that he got 10 XP after finishing a section of baddies on the ship." Forgot the name already. Do you like this delayed experience gain for the final build, or do you basically not? Now, I personally would rather have it that when I knock an enemy down, I immediately get 10 XP per kill. Now in Spider-Man PS4, when the player defeats a wave of baddies robbing a store, you don't get experience until it's completed, or of course you black out, but the experience is more like 300 XP per group and not 10 XP. But if you do a backflip while swinging, you get 4 XP or whatever immediately, like each trick. I prefer the immediate satisfaction, it keeps me engaged mentally. I wouldn't want to faint as captain and get, no experience, even though I knocked 10 enemies down. Anyway, that's my thoughts on what I was seeing. Maybe I overlooked something, but you let me know. So that's what the guy on Reddit said, and it's a very, very interesting thing to talk about. Personally, I'm not really too bothered by it, and maybe if it was an option after you complete the game the first time round, or maybe it could be an option in terms of difficulty, I don't actually know. They may well just be playing on like ultimate difficulty or whatever it will be called, and then of course it makes it more difficult for other things to achieve in the game itself. I can understand that getting a small XP, like 10 XP literally is absolutely tiny, for knocking down a complete, section of the game or a bunch of bad guys, but then you have to also take into consideration what can that 10 XP get you in the game. Of course, with Spider-Man PS4, it was a matter of unlocking skills, etc, etc. It could have been a situation where the XP is just simply low because of course it's the beginning of the game and naturally not everything is unlocked. The amount of XP you can get as well might also vary on how you're taking down the enemies, and I know they mention about customization, etc, etc, which yet we are still, in that sort of process of seeing a full video of that and how the gears and everything is going to work. We know there's going to be a skill tree, but of course when you upgrade your character there has to be more of a reason than just, knocking down random enemies in the game. Maybe if you upgrade your suit to a certain level, naturally the more tougher you get as a character, and again you could be absolutely anyone, the more XP you will get. I've seen it in games that I can't name off the top of my head, but there's definitely games out there that work on a progression based, where if you're basically a weak character, you're going to get low points, whereas when you completely are kitted out, I guess, max armor, etc, etc, you then get a crap ton of XP or whatever it may be, simply because now you're more powerful. But then it goes into the other question on, well, if that's the situation, what can you unlock with all this XP once, of course, you go ahead and max out your character. Again, personally, what I would like to see overall, I'm getting the whole XP situation, but quite currently it's a big topic, so that's why I really want to go a bit more in depth on this. I personally think how I would want it is the XP will basically allow me to unlock characters and unlock regions in the game as well, almost without having to do all the missions and drive through the story. I know a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but for me, it would just naturally be a lot more fun, and you definitely 100% want side missions to be a thing. You don't want side missions to absolutely give you nothing in the game. So to round that whole XP situation up, the more powerful you get as a character, the more XP you get. What you do with your XP is upgrade other characters in the game that might unlock more abilities, more regions in the game, or just simply unlock characters. Something along those lines would be really, really interesting to see, and would kind of change the way XP goes. But again, you guys get in the comment section below and let me know. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this video here. So do not forget, if you haven't seen this full gameplay video, it's like 18 or 20 minutes long, but it's worth every single second and it just goes so quick. Go ahead and check it out. The link is in the description below. To add to that, we finally got what we was waiting for as well, which I completely forgot to mention and even show, but it was new screenshots of the game. We did, well, you probably saw it in the thumbnail of this video. There's not a whole lot in terms of like how new they are, but they're more or less like little snippets from what we've already seen in a trailer. But then you got a new Iron Man one, you got parts of the map, etc, etc. So go ahead, check those out as well, and hopefully we get a whole lot more of that. And now I guess we wait and see what happens. Don't forget, okay, we know these guys are just as excited, of course, as we are, as you would expect anyway, but they were meant to be releasing this gameplay, I think, like a week after Gamescom, and now that we're basically the second day in Gamescom and they've gone ahead and released that, goes to show they are really, really excited and just amped up to show us what they have in store for us and just show how well they've polished up the game. And I think it's safe to say that the guys over at Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, they have just done an amazing job. You gotta remember, they want this superhero game to be one big hit, and right now I think they're on a good track for that. But again, if you guys get any comment section below, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. If you missed any of the previous ones, the links are in the description below, or just check out the previous videos. But until the next one, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.